1 week into the war, Iran is sending a message. It's ready for 6 months of fighting. Tehran says it has already struck more than 200 US and Israeli targets across the region. Washington says Iran is being decimated. Two sides, two completely different wars being described. So which version is closer to reality? It has been 1 week since the United States and Israel launched what Iran is calling unlawful military aggression on Iranian soil. And as of this Sunday, March 8th, the war is not cooling down. If anything, it is burning hotter. Iran's Revolutionary Guards made a pointed declaration through the Fars news agency, warning that the
Islamic Republic is capable of sustaining at least a 6-month intense war at the current pace of operations.
That is not the language of a country looking for an exit. That is a country signaling it is dug in. The Guards also claimed they have targeted more than 200 locations linked to American and Israeli bases and facilities across the region. Whether those numbers hold up to independent verification remains unclear, but the volume of the claim alone reflects the scale of what is unfolding. Then came Saturday's accounting from the Iranian side. Lieutenant Colonel Ibrahim Zolfaghari, the spokesperson for Iran's Khatam al-Anbiya central headquarters, laid out a striking toll. He said 21 American service members were killed and others wounded during Iranian strikes on the US Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. He then added that roughly 200 more American personnel were killed or wounded in strikes on Al-Dhafra air base. The Iranian military also said it struck an American-owned oil tanker in the northern Persian Gulf. The United States, for its part, confirmed that Iran destroyed a $300 million radar system at Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan. That system was part of the THAAD missile defense network. Losing it is not a footnote. It is a significant operational blow. Aboard Air Force One on Friday, March 7th, President Donald Trump held an impromptu back and forth with reporters that offered a window into how Washington is thinking about this war and what comes after it. A journalist asked the president directly whether the United States bombed a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war, killing 175 people. Trump did not hesitate.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
Whether that explanation satisfies the international community is another matter entirely. Trump was also asked about the possibility of a negotiated settlement, and here is where his answer is worth sitting with.
What sort of thing do you want to see in a deal? I mean, do you think you have maximum negotiating leverage at this point?
I think the president has proved that we have.
Iran today accused the U.S. of
a lot of
hitting.
negotiating leverage, maybe maximum, but we're not looking to settle. They'd like to settle. We're not looking to settle.
Trump said he is not interested in negotiating with Iran at this point, and later added the air campaign could make it a moot point if all potential leaders of Iran are killed and the Iranian military is destroyed.
They're sending in much less drones. They're being decimated. Now, at some point, I don't think there'll be anybody left maybe to say, we surrender. But they're being decimated. It's where they cry uncle, or when they can't fight any longer and there's nobody around to cry uncle. That could happen too, because we've wiped out their leadership numerous times already. So it's if they surrender, or if there is nobody around to surrender, but they're rendered useless in terms of military.
But Iran's own declaration of a 6-month war capacity, combined with the casualty figures it is putting out, tells a very different story from the one Trump is presenting. Two sides, two very different readings of the same war, and somewhere in between, the region is holding its breath.
For the first time since this war began, Israel struck the heart of Iran's oil infrastructure. On March 7th, Israeli Air Force jets bombed several fuel storage complexes in Tehran, including depots in the Kuhak, Sharan areas of the capital, and in the nearby city of Karaj. Eyewitnesses on the ground watched flames and thick black smoke rise over the city. According to Iranian state media, an oil depot near Tehran's main refinery complex was hit, though the refinery itself was reportedly spared. The Israeli military was direct about its intent. In a statement, the IDF said,
"The military forces of the Iranian terror regime make direct and frequent use of these fuel tanks to operate military infrastructure. Through them, the Iranian terror regime distributes fuel to various consumers, including military entities in Iran. The strike constitutes an additional step in deepening the damage to the military infrastructure of the Iranian terror regime."
IDF spokesman Brigadier General Efi Defrin said the military had, in recent days, moved into a new phase where they aim to target complex infrastructure. The numbers tell their own story. In just 1 week, the Israeli Air Force dropped over 7,500 bombs on Iran. That is twice what Israel dropped during the 12-day war last June. Over 3,400 strikes in 7 days. And then came Netanyahu. In a televised address on Saturday, the Israeli Prime Minister spoke directly to the Iranian people. His message was not subtle.
"We have an organized plan with many surprises to destabilize the regime and allow for change. We have many more targets, and I will not detail them here. But to the operatives of the Revolutionary Guards, those who oppress the Iranian people in the streets, I say this: you are also in our sights. The moment of truth is approaching, for we do not seek to divide Iran. We seek to liberate Iran, to free it from the yoke of tyranny, and to live with it in peace. But at the end of the day, liberation from the yoke of tyranny will depend on you, the brave and long-suffering Iranian people."
Israeli officials speaking to Channel 12 went further. One senior security official said,
"There's no deadline for the campaign."
Another said,
"We are optimistic about the ability to cause the regime to collapse."
Meanwhile, in Florida, President Trump addressed Latin American leaders at his Shield of Americas summit.
We knocked out their Air Force. We knocked out their communications, and all telecommunications is gone. 8 months ago, they would have had a nuclear weapon, and, they're crazy, and they would have used it. So we did the world a favor.
Tehran did not go quiet. Iran fired a dozen volleys of missiles at Israel. No injuries were reported in Israel, though one missile damaged a home in the central city of Lod. Hezbollah in Lebanon also launched attacks across the border in a show of solidarity with Tehran. The IRGC announced the 27th wave of Operation True Promise 4, its ongoing campaign of retaliatory strikes against American and Israeli targets.
"Our drone units successfully targeted the location where American forces are stationed in Marina, in the vicinity of the buildings of the Warner Brothers Company. Our naval forces, meanwhile, struck the command unit of the 5th Fleet's unmanned surface vessel unit and the military support hangars of American terrorist forces at Salman Port in the Persian Gulf."
The United States reportedly also struck a freshwater desalination plant on Keshem Island. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi responded with fury.
"If Mr. Trump seeks escalation, it is precisely what our powerful armed forces have long been prepared for, and what he will get. Responsibility for any intensification of Iran's exercise of self-defense will lie squarely with the U.S. administration."
The stakes in that single sentence are enormous. A war that began between Israel and Iran now threatens to reach into the infrastructure of every country in the Gulf. Iran has not yet struck a desalination plant outside its borders, but its foreign minister has made clear that it believes America opened that door first.